Hey guys, it's Nicholas, aka Suyama-san Head-Fi here, and today I wanted to talk about something that I like a lot. I bought it at the Rocky Mountain Audio Festival. It's a pair of headphones. The hat might give you a clue. It's the AudioQuest Nighthawks. Beautiful pair of headphones. Detailed sound, but smooth, very smooth, full, organic, lush sound. It's not your typical audiophile sound, it's a music lover sound. And I love music, and I love the sound that the Nighthawks give me. And if you look closely, you'll see, some of you guys are AudioQuest Nighthawks owners. You'll see a few differences between what I've got in front of me and what you probably have at home. When I was at RMAF, I met Skylar's wife and got a sneak peek at Night Owl, which I think a lot of you headfires are going to love. And I'm looking forward to another listen at the Night Owl. But I really fell in love with Nighthawks, and I let her know when I purchased them. When I purchased them at RMAF, I was just enthralled by these guys. I went back a few times to listen to them, purchased a pair, brought them home with me, and I've been enjoying them ever since. I've used them a lot. I'm mainly a portable guy, so I'm listening to them mostly with my portable setups, and they're easy to drive, so that's good. I just amp them with a portable amp. But when I got back, I was PMing, in contact on Head-Fi with Skylar a little bit. I'm not PMing him all the time. We're not good buddies or anything. But he let me know he wanted me to take a listen to the new pads and test out the new cable. So I'm just here to update you on that. You notice these are the new velour pads that they'll be coming out with. These are the ones I listen to on the Nighthawk, and they do alter the sound signature. I'll get to that in a little bit. And I've got the new cable on here. So what I think I'll do now is first I'm going to show you the cables, I think, and then I'll go on to the pads. So I'm going to pop these down for a minute. I'm going to show you the difference between the old cable and the new cable. Okay? So, if you guys have Nighthawks, you'll recognize this. This is the old cable, and I'm going to be careful here. So the old cable had the independent left-right strands inside, solid core conductor, and it's a stiffer cable, and you want to be careful not to kink it, otherwise you might break the strands inside and lose one of your channels. So you had to be careful with this guy. It's longer, which some people like. I'm not, like I said, I'm more of a portable listener anyway, so I don't care about the length of this so much. I actually wanted a shorter cable. The newer one is shorter, so I like that. It has a nice kind of 45-degree connector on it. I've got the end cap on, but it's got a nice 45-degree connector. It's got the nylon sleeving. For what it's worth, I'm not a big fan of the nylon sleeves. They can you can get some microphonics through those, the rubbing microphonics. Luckily, after the Y splitter, AudioQuest did the right thing. Thank you, AudioQuest. And they used a more typical rubberized cable after the Y splitter. So even if you get some microphonics down below, they probably won't transfer because these rubberized cables up above, they're going to be what's rubbing up against your shoulders, what's rubbing up against my beard, whatever they rub up against. These aren't going to transmit that kind of scratchy sound like this nylon sheath down below will. So that is the old cable. Let me grab the new cable here, show you what that guy's like. And I had my Nighthawks connected to my Shanling M3. I pulled out this oldie but goodie for a listen. It's actually on sale at Lend Me Your Ears right now. And for, I think it's about half price. It's a really good DAP. It's big. It's a brick. I won't lie to you, but it sounds good. It's got a Cirrus DAC in it. Good, clear sound. I like it. So here's the new cable. Okay, the new cable is nice, thick rubberized. You don't have to worry about bending it. It's very sturdy. It's like a ruggedized cable. You have a nice, again, big ruggedized Y splitter. And this has just a simple on-off microphone. So if you want to take calls, pause, play your music, you can do that. Personally, I don't care about that. I could do without it. But for those of you using your Nighthawks on the go, or you just want to hook it up to your phone and take calls, that's good for you. I listen to it with DAPs, so it doesn't matter to me. And it keeps the same nice rubberized cables up above the Y splitter, rubberized down below, low microphonics. You're not going to break this thing. You could probably tow somebody's car with it. Pretty darn, well, that's an exaggeration, of course. But it's a strong cable. I mean, it's very strong cable. And looking at the two, I'm going to take the jacks and put them up against each other here. So now you can see the jack. I hope you can see that anyway. More ruggedized jack, right? Put it up against my face. There you go. Nice ruggedized jack. The cable. New cable over here. Old cable over here. I think you can tell. Cable's sturdier. Now let's just kind of go along until we get to the Y splitter here, and you can see some of the, oh, that's right, we've got it coiled here. Oh, bad news. Kind of uncoil this cable a bit. Sorry about this. Don't want to break the wire inside, just in case I want to have a long cable later on. Okay, there we go. So, okay, we have reached the Y splitter for the new cable here, and we're going to keep going. We have reached the end of the new cable. We're going to keep going. Oh boy. Oh, look at that. Now we finally reached the Y splitter of the old cable, and you can, again, just see the difference in how ruggedized that new cable is. AudioQuest isn't fooling around with their new cable. And that Y splitter is robust. And with old and new cable, looks like you have a little bit, maybe, I don't know, just an inch or two, or yeah, probably, inch and a half, 2 inches more cable length on the old after the Y splitter versus the new. So I think overall I like the new cable. I'm not a fan of really long cables. So the new cable being ruggedized it makes me happier. I like the new cable. The old cable is probably about twice as long as the new cable. Let's see. I want to work it. Oh, yeah, it just falls about 6 inches short of being twice as full of the new cable. It's about twice as long as the new cable. Anyway, back to the headphones themselves. Gorgeous, lush sound. And I've got the new pads. I wanted to show you. I'm going to rip off the left pad because I have the whole slew of pads sitting over here in a chair to the right of me. So I'm going to pop off a pad. They just have little snap-on connectors there. You kind of see them sticking up. They're little plastic guys. And here is the driver inside. All right, inside that nice liquid wood housing. I love the strap. Easy to adjust it. All right. All kept in place by this nice metal band up above. Easy to hang your headphones from it too, and not damage the headband, not stretch it out. So let's go through the pads, because I know people on HeadFi were asking about those. So we have here are the old pleathers, right? New pleathers. With the new ones, you can see they've got the marking inside, so a diamond pattern on the mesh, and they have the side marked inside. This is a left one, so it's got the L. The old one did not have that. The mesh inside, as I'm looking through it, looks like it is exactly the same density. I mean, there could be a difference, but I can't see it. And the foam on the pads, I mean, these things feel similar. They don't feel different. And honestly, I did not give these guys a close A/B listen. When I slapped on the new pads, I felt like they sounded like the Nighthawks, pretty similar to these. Moving along, we got the new velours. These are, when I put them on, these are a little bit stiffer than the newer and the older pleathers. So they're going to stick out against your head a little bit more. They're not going to smash up against the side of your head or settle into the side of your head. Again, they've got the left and right markers inside. It's from the left one. And this is a very tight velour, very high quality. It actually feels like kind of like a micro suede. It's not your typical velour pad like you'd get on some of the other on other headphones. Other than that, you know, the diameter of the hole, or the length or the width and the height of the hole appears to be the same. What you get out of the velours that you don't get out of the pleathers is the sound is leaned up a little bit. There's a little less bass, and that brings the upper end into it, brings it up a little bit, so you have a little more prominent upper end. I mean, I'm sure actually it does not bring the upper end up. What it does is it exposes the upper end a little bit more. I should clarify. By decreasing the bass response, you're increasing your perception of the upper mids and the lower treble. So you get the mids aren't as, or the bass isn't as prominent. The mids aren't quite as warm in the lower mids. You get a little more upper mid and treble presence. So this sounds, and the sound stage opens up a little bit because of that. So these sound a little bit more like you would expect from that audiophile sound. It's still a full, rich sound, but you know, the bass is a little tighter and you got more upper end energy. So I think a lot of headfires are going to like this. People who love that kind of lush, rich, organic sound of the Nighthawks, you probably still like the pleathers better, but you want to lean them up a little bit, get a little more sound stage here and there, you know, listening to some classical music or something, throw on the velours. I like them. I like them both. And with the velours, I have to say, it makes the Nighthawks sound more like I remember the Night Owls sounding. That said, I wasn't closely A/B'ing them. I don't have the the Night Owls right now, so I can't say for certain, but just from memory, these guys sound a little more like the Night Owls. And for you headfires out there, because I love you, I took one for the team, and I ordered the Brainwavz HM5 angled pleathers and velours. Here's the angled pleather. I call the stock pads that AudioQuest has, I mean, they are very slightly angled. They're fairly flat, but they got a little bit of angle. But boy, nothing compared to these guys from Brainwavz. These guys have a big fat angle. The memory foam on them is a lot softer. It compresses a lot easier. These are just a pure oval, so you have to put on when you put on the plastic clip on the clip holder on the back. I don't know what you call that thing. Anyway, when you put the little plastic guy in there that you can connect up to your Nighthawks with, it takes a bit to get it in there and form the Brainwavz earphones to the right shape. And once you get them on, the pleathers, honestly, I don't know what I was going to expect or what I expected, but what I got was even less bass than the velours. This leans up the Nighthawks quite a bit, brings the upper end forward even more, makes them more prone to sibilance. So if one thing that you love about the Nighthawks, like I do, is that lack of sibilance and a nice, relaxed yet detailed upper end, not so much with the Brainwavz pads, even the pleathers. I thought these would have more, I guess my expectation was that these would have more bass than they'd had. Not so much. I was really surprised that they had less bass than the AudioQuest velours. they do open up the soundstage a little bit more. So if you're looking for that more, even a more audiophile experience with that great low distortion great low distortion Nighthawks driver, you could try these. You could try the Brainwavz pleather HM5 pads. Just know that, you're going to expose the sibilance that's there. You're going to lean up the bass quite a bit. You're going to lose the nice warm lower mids, and you're going to have brighter upper mids and crispier treble. Okay. Whew, last one. Brainwavz HM5 angled velours. So this is more what I'm used to with a velour pad. Again, really soft memory foam. This thing's going to squish up against your ears. Very angled, right? All right, I should get these guys here. Here's the difference in the velour. I don't know if you probably hard to see, but again, more like a micro suede over here on the AudioQuest version, and more of a typical velour, almost kind of, not terry cloth, but more of that terry clothish velour feel from the Brainwavz. So again, kind of a pain to get the clip holder in here, but once I got it in, easy to swap these guys in and out. These are more similar to the Brainwavz pleather than they are to the AudioQuest velours. Again, lower bass. Whoa, something just brightened up there. Lower bass on these guys, and you get even more emphasis in the upper end. You get the sibilance still, and a little bit wider sound stage, and they knock down the volume. I think the velour inside here absorbs more of the sound, so it knocks down the volume. So you got to crank up the volume a couple notches in your player, turn that volume knob up a little bit. So, again, if you're going from kind of the more typical Nighthawk sound, it's going to be, the Nighthawk pleathers give you that classic Nighthawk sound. If you want a little bit tighter bass and bring the upper end a little forward, you can get the AudioQuest velours. Okay, you want to go for your more typical audiophile type sound that you headfires like, try out these Brainwavz HM5. They're going to lean out the bass quite a bit, cool off the lower mids, bring the upper end forward, okay, but make them more prone to sibilance. And then I gotta say, my least favorite are these Brainwavz velours. Whew, they really knock the bass down, cool off the lower mids too much for me, bring the upper end forward. They're still prone to sibilance, and you got to crank the volume up a little bit more. I'm not these guys. If I were going to go with the Brainwavz for anything, I'd probably go with these. Probably go with the pleathers. I mean, your mileage may vary. Maybe you'll like the velours more than me. For me, I'm sticking with these guys. And out of these two, I don't know. I'm having kind of a mental fight with myself over these two. My gut tells me I'm going to end up with the pleathers in the long run, but I'll swap out for the velours every once in a while for a little more. Maybe it's not even reference sound, but leaning that way a little bit more, leaner bass, but still full sounding. So there you go. You got the rundown. You got to see what you got to see the cables. You got to see cables. You got to see the new cable. Love it. You got to see the pads, right? You got to see all these pads. Love them. Just not the Brainwavz ones. And you even got to see a sneak peek at that driver. That's it. I think, if my memory serves me correctly, the Nighthawks are still on sale for around $350 until the end of the month. So I would suggest, if you're at all interested, buy them. They're fantastic. I love these guys. Favorite headphones now. And if you're looking for a DAP, this Shanling M3 is a great DAP. Oh, powered it on. Jeez. Great DAP. And it's got this, just crazy Zippo lighter scroll wheel. It's a D-pad. You got to click it all these different ways, man. scroll up and down to change the volume, go in and out to pause the songs and turn it off. Easy peasy, sounds good. And with that, I am done. If you made it all the way to the end, kudos to you. I don't seem to know how to make a short video, so I hope you guys don't mind it being a little long. Thanks for watching, and I will be back soon to talk about some in-ear monitors that I've gotten in. I've gotten quite a few pairs in, and I also need to talk about some sources I got in. I got some DAPs and some DAC amps to talk about. So I'll be back hopefully next weekend and bring you up to speed on some of the new stuff I've gotten in. Until then, happy listening, guys.